So I'm gonna get real. I'm gonna talk about some stuff. First, what I'm gonna talk about is the solar eclipse weekend and the madness that we just went through, which is so cool for our little community. I don't know if you can see my shirt. The end of Alzheimer's starts with me. I'm a nurse. I work very hard for others. This weekend and last weekend and the weekend before that and the months before that, last year, I've been working very hard for something that means a lot to me, and I'm going to tell you my story. So, a couple of years ago, about 4, my mom was showing signs that she was having an issue. She would forget things. She'd forget her passwords at work. She'd forget where her keys were. She'd call me almost every day and say, I lost my credit cards. I just called and canceled them all. And I have to say, Mom, they're probably in between the console of your car seat and the console in your car. And she'd go out and look, and there they were. So I talked to my dad and I said, we need to go talk and get Mom to see a psychiatrist and see if maybe she has Alzheimer's. So I took my mom and did all day testing, and on the way home from that testing, my mom was so upset. She was in tears, and I kept asking her why, and she just didn't want to talk. And then finally she said, I messed everything up. I messed everything up. I took all these tests and I messed it up. And she didn't understand that there was no way for her to mess up these tests, but she thought she did. So 4 years ago, my mom was diagnosed with a progressive early onset Alzheimer's. And my dad told the doctor in the office, I'm going to take the next 10 years and I'm going to travel with my wife because that's what she's always wanted to do, and we're going to create some new memories. And the doctor looked straight at me and my mom and straight at my dad and said, I give you less than 5. You need to do it now, and you need to do it before she won't be able to remember, and I give you less than 5 years. And I've worked with Alzheimer's patients, and I've been around Alzheimer's because guess what? My grandma had early onset Alzheimer's. My great-grandma had early onset Alzheimer's. My mom now has early onset Alzheimer's. The next person in line is me. Now sit there and think about that for a second. I have a 20-year-old son. There's gonna come a point, if we don't find a cure, that I won't know who my son is. I'll look into his face and his eyes and I won't know who he is. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever sat and thought about not knowing who your own child is? That's what scares me the most, is I know unless there's a cure, that's my fate. It's my fate. And then there's no cure found. There's more than likely my son is going to have Alzheimer's. And if that's the case, there'll come a day where he's going to look at his kids and not even know who they are. That's some scary stuff. So this weekend, I spent many hours at the Band on the Bricks downtown Alliance in Alliance, Nebraska. In the hot sun and the many hours and the many wonderful people that I met. And I raised money. I raised money for the Alzheimer's Association. And my hope is that they can find a cure. And it may sound silly to you, but it's not to me. And the most amazing thing happened to me today. I met someone who may help me be able to spread the word and raise awareness for Alzheimer's. On the Eclipse weekend, out of nowhere, I met this woman, and she may not think it's a big deal what she did for me today, and what hopefully she will continue to do. But today she made my day, and I appreciate that, because if I can help raise awareness, then maybe I can stop this disease, because Alzheimer's is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States that has no cure. Cancer has cures. Alzheimer's doesn't have a cure. And the only thing I know right now is I'm gonna have to watch my mom die twice. That's my mama, and I'm gonna have to watch her die twice. Once because I'm gonna lose her when she loses her memory, and a second time when she passes away from this awful disease. It's gonna happen. So I'm sitting here on my bed, and I'm dropping my phone. Tomorrow I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go out to a friend's place, and I'm gonna watch the solar eclipse that I haven't seen in my lifetime. And I'm gonna watch those solar eclipses at the same time my mama is, and know that this is the last one she will probably see. And hopefully they get pictures. But I'm doing what I can. And tomorrow I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna think of my mama, and hope that she knows where she's sitting at right now, that I love her with all my heart. And hopefully they find a cure, and one day she can watch this and say, I beat Alzheimer's. That's what I hope.